Well, the summer movie season has officially begun, and while most of the advertising has suggested that it will be a 3-horse race between Jurassic World Afterbirth, Super Man-Child, and Marvel's Fan Foreskin, I honestly think the best movie of this particular season has already been released. Don't get me wrong, I hope those others are good, but it has been quite a while since Marvel, DC, or the Jurassic Park franchise delivered something that worked. But if ever a movie did deserve the attention and support to reach the top of the box office, it is Joseph Kosinski's latest directorial effort, F1. Now, I've known about F1's impending release since before the start of 2025, and it has been sitting at the top of my most anticipated films of the year list ever since. I absolutely loved Top Gun Maverick, which was also directed by Kosinski, and Brad Pitt has remained one of Hollywood's most consistently entertaining actors. So finding out that F1 absolutely lives up to my personal hype not only makes me very, very happy, I can honestly say that along with Warfare, it is one of the 2 best movies to be released this year thus far. And why, you may ask? Well, let's dive into it. Wait, should I have said drive into it? Or does that sound like I'm hitting a wall or maybe running something over?
Get on with it!
Yes, get on with it!
Right. Brad Pitt plays Sonny Hayes, a former Formula One racer. Wait, Formula One racer? Huh?
Just stop. Just stop doing it. You're going to drive me crazy.
A former Formula One racer who was supposed to be the next big thing but suffered a horrific injury on track just as his star was on the rise. Once his career was cut short, Sonny's life descended into heavy gambling, failed marriages, and ultimately bankruptcy. Basically John Daly without the cigars and the beer belly. When we catch up with Sonny in the present, he's found his way back into racing, becoming something of a journeyman who loves the sport and is chasing the feeling that made him fall in love with it in the first place. Following a victory at the 24 Hours of Daytona, he receives an offer to stay with the team he helped to win, but for him this was just a
Pit stop.
I don't feel good about that joke. Anyway, he goes back to his quiet life in between competitions, only to be approached by his old Formula One teammate Ruben, played excellently by Javier Bardem. Ruben now owns his own racing team, but in the 2 years since he took control, they've yet to place high enough to score even a single point. He now sits hundreds of millions of dollars in debt, and unless he manages to win one of the next 9 races, the board of directors will take the team away from him and sell it. Sonny, who is by no means a young man, is offered a test drive to see if he can become Ruben's second driver, which would team him up with a promising young rookie who could benefit from having a mentor. Both men realize the odds are incredibly long, but Ruben is convinced that Sonny is his last hope at holding on to his team. Sonny agrees reluctantly and is met with a great deal of skepticism when he arrives, both from the crew and from his new teammate, young Joshua Pierce. Pierce has his own concerns moving forward as he's fully aware that the sale of the team could spell the end of his young and promising career, but at the same time he's distracted by the celebrity he's obtained since becoming a driver. He and Sonny clash immediately, and the tension between them grows in the time following the latter's successful test run, as well as further down the road.
Master Larry, enough with the puns! Can we please get on with this?
But this is no race war because they eventually begin to mesh well on the track, and despite not having great cars to work with, Sonny begins to take an innovative and roguish approach to help JP and the team score their first top 10 finishes. It starts to earn him a reputation as a dirty driver, but it's something he and the team begin to take advantage of, even leading to redesigns which help their car best utilize what they consider a battle-like approach. It also leads to some romantic tension between Sonny and the team's technical director, Kate, played well by the highly underrated Carrie Condon. And as the team and the drivers begin to perform better, the stakes for all parties gets higher and higher, with personal obstacles and motivations generating enmity when there should be greater camaraderie. And as much as they're working to finish a race in first and keep the team with Ruben, several of them are forced to confront the reasons why they each do what they do, be it for money, fame, glory, or something far deeper.
Whoa, that's pretty deep.
Now, 2025 has been a pretty rough year for movies so far, bogged down by bad remakes, disappointing sequels, MCU slop, and what are hopefully the final dregs of girl bossery that have plagued cinemas for the past several years. F1 has arrived as a reminder that not only can movies be fun, they can be very well made at the same time. This film is well acted, well written, beautifully shot and scored, and features characters who are both interesting and easy to root for. And trust me, as something well beneath a Formula One novice, you don't have to be a racing fan to appreciate the story or the car-related dialogue, though there's a good chance once the credits roll, you might start taking an interest in the sport. Another note on those characters, it is so refreshing that they're not only likable, but that the story develops relationships and arcs that make you care about almost all of them. There are a couple that probably could have been developed a bit further so their motivations would be more understandable, but it's a small gripe in an otherwise solid story that also happens to feature some of the most impressive driving sequences we've seen in years. In fact, even though I've seen this movie only once so far, I already would put it in the upper echelon of racing films with 2013's Rush and the absolute banger that is 2019's Ford v Ferrari. And while I don't think F1 is quite as masterful as the latter, it's still really good in its own right. Maybe even great. At the very least, F1 is why I love this medium of entertainment, and why the theater experience is so awesome. Major kudos must be given to director Joseph Kosinski, who is starting to show that he has quite the knack for making ambitious movies that aren't only impressive visually, but are strong in the storytelling department as well. This is the kind of film that I and many others will likely be watching again and again in the coming years. And if you've yet to see it, you should do yourself a favor and check it out on the big screen while you can. I have a feeling this is going to be a movie we look back on 5 and 10 and so on years from now and get a bit nostalgic over. It's a true crowd pleaser with spectacular production value, and it just so happens to feature some quality writing too. In short, F1 is a good movie, and it deserves your attention. And if you value the theatrical experience, it is worth your money. And if you just so happen to have seen it already, let me know in the comments what you thought of it. While you're here, you can also smash a thumb and consider subscribing if you want to see more of what's to come. Your time is valuable, and I always appreciate you spending some of it with me. I'll see you all again real soon. God bless, and Godspeed.